Piano Video Lessons Year 1, Unit 4. First, a big shout out to my patrons. Thanks for your support. To find out about the benefits of becoming a patron, click the info card. In today's lesson, we're going to be learning eighth notes, and we'll learn to play Lavender's Blue. This is video number 49 on YouTube, and the best way to follow these lessons is to visit PianoVideoLessons.com, where you can find the complete index for Unit 4 and the preceding units and the future units, and also get the lesson printables. So today's lesson is a lesson on rhythm. So if you have a look at this chart, you can see at the very top we have a whole note, and we know that a whole note holds for 4 beats. So the whole note gets the whole measure of time, and there's no room for more. If you're playing in 4/4 time, you use all 4 beats with a whole note. Then we broke it down further to have 2 beats per note, and we use the half note for that. And you can remember this from a previous lesson, 2 beats for each half note. Then we broke it down further to have 4 quarter notes for the full measure. So each of these notes gets 1 beat. So 4 beat note, 2 beat note, 1 beat note. We've been breaking it in half consecutively each time. And then you might have thought, well, that's as fast as we need to get, because now we have 1 note taking 1 beat each. But we actually have a faster type of note that we can play. And in this case, these are eighth notes. And there are 8 of them in a full measure of 4 beats. So if you're playing in 4/4 time, you can play 8 eighth notes in 1 measure. So each eighth note by itself shares a beat with the other eighth note. So you can probably imagine, if these are equal amounts of time, how much time each of those notes gets. And you're right, each one gets half of a beat, because together they take as much time as 1 quarter note. So an eighth note gets half a beat. You can write them individually. This is sort of small, but you can see here a single eighth note written alone has a flag that hangs down. And here, let me write it just a little bit bigger. So we have the note head and stem, and then a single eighth note will have a flag that hangs down to the right. And if you're writing the note in inverted position with the stem pointing down, the flag will still come up to the right. And each of these eighth notes gets 1/2 of a beat. And together they make 1 whole beat. So we could group these. Let's just count them first, I think. So here we have 4 quarter notes. Let's play these. I'll just play C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's play them another way. Let's play them and say a different type of counting. Let's say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we've just added a word in between the numbers. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. You can see that even though I'm counting with the word and in between the beats, I'm still giving each note the right amount of time. I could do the same thing for this half note. I'm going to play D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This and is going to help us out when we want to play eighth notes. So I'm going to start on E, and I'm going to play these 8 eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you can see that each of these notes gets half a beat, and the and tells us when to play the second one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now we can look at those notes in combination with other notes. So if we have 2 eighth notes followed by 2 quarter notes, it would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Noticing I played on 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Go ahead and try that yourself. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can play it on any note at all. We could also have this rhythm, where we have 1 and 2 and, that was the taws, 3 and 4 and. So I'll play that on the piano. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You got it. Here we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on the piano 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Does that sound familiar? It sounds like jingle bells to me. All right, now we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll play that on D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try another one. Here we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and another one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so you could roll back the video, hit the silent button so you don't hear me, mute me, and go ahead and practice those yourself to see if you can do them easily. And now we're ready to learn our piece of music that accompanies this lesson, which is Lavender's Blue. So having a look at this piece, you can see it's actually in 3/4 time. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, or 1 and 2 and 3 and. So this will be 1 and 2 and 3 and. Those are just quarter notes. Then we have another quarter note for 1 and. So that's 1 and. Now we have running, running. These notes are running down. They're faster than those walking notes. So 2 and 3 and. So here we have G and then F down, down, down. So we're using every finger in a row. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Here we go again. 1 and 2 and 3 and. You can think walk, running, running. You can make up other words that fit this too. Like you could say dog, puppy, puppy. So as long as your 2-syllable word has equal time for each syllable, that would work. Like you could have pie, apple, apple, or 1, 2, and 3 and. All right, let's keep going. We have now C and then reach to A, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. Next line, 1 and 2 and this is the same. 1 and 2 and 3 and. There was the 8th notes. Get out your pencil and write the counting in there. Now, it's important to always say the and, even when the right hand is playing a quarter note. Because what might happen is you might go 1, 2, and 3, and that didn't make this note longer because I said 1, 2, and 3, and. I need to say 1, and 2, and 3, and, keeping my counting on a steady beat. Now we're here, F, G, E, D, 2, 3. Next line is identical to the first line, so we're going to skip down to the bottom line, which is almost the same as line 2. 1, 2, 3. So let's add the ands in there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. Great. Now the left hand joins in with this piece and it starts off with a C triad. So we're very familiar with that from playing pentascales. Then it plays it again. Then we keep C on the bottom, but we play 2 line notes. We had 2 space notes here. See how it's going up? So this is going to be my finger 2 on F and my finger 1 on the A. And I'll play that again. This is an F chord in a funny arrangement. Back to the C chord and another C chord. Now we're going to keep the G, but this time we're going to open our 3 and our 5 down, leaving a gap here with line notes B and D. Okay, so that's a G chord. It's also in a different arrangement. This is called a first inversion triad, and we'll talk more about that soon. Now we have a C chord and a C chord. Now 2 is on F, reach up for A. This is the same as line 1. Back to the C chord, another C chord, open down to this G chord with 3 and 5 on line notes with a gap right in here, and back to a C chord. So when you put that together, it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and next line 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 Excellent. So practice that until you can count out loud, because that's so important, while you're playing those eighth notes. And without stopping, do lots and lots of repetitions until it feels easy and natural. Our next lesson, we're going to be reviewing all the notes we know, plus extending our knowledge all the way to the full extent of the staff. And be sure to click like if you liked this lesson and it was helpful for you, and subscribe for more piano video lessons. Thanks for watching.